Hello everyone, and welcome to the DPB Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Monis with DisneyPinsBlog.com, the latest news on Disney pin trading and collecting from around the world. This is episode number 69 for the week of December 19th, 2016.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Disney Pins Blog Podcast. The Disney Pins Blog Podcast keeps you up to date on the latest pin releases from across the spectrum of Disney parks. Now, here are your hosts with this week's edition of the Disney Pins Blog Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 69 of the DPB Podcast. This is going to be the very last episode for 2016. I'm taking a break for Christmas and New Year's, so we'll be back on January 9th, 2017. So we hope everyone has a great break. We'll still be updating DisneyPinsBlog.com every day, and be sure to follow us on our social channels. We'll be updating Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all with the handle Disney Pins Blog. So before we get into the pin news today, it's just going to be myself today. Jen will be back in 2017, and we're also hoping to have more guests on the show. We're all not going to have any Disney Pin Chat this week. Just going to be the pin news. But before we get into that, I want to talk about the forums, the question we had last week. We talked about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and we asked you guys what your favorite holiday thing to do is at Disney parks. So I'm just going to go ahead and read those off. The thread is Disney Holiday Memories. We had Lizette on YouTube. She said, "I love it when Jen is on the show. I love hearing your cast member insight stories. For the question, I'm an AP over here at Disneyland, and my favorite part of the holidays is the castle lighting ceremony where we get fake snow. I love it. These next two kind of overlap into Halloween, but I love the Haunted Mansion holiday and getting to meet Jack and Sally, of course. That Haunted Mansion holiday sounds awesome. I'd love to do that someday." And then we had PinFan92. They said, "I have only been to Walt Disney World during the holiday once and had a blast. My favorite part was Osborne Lights." I totally agree. Osborne Lights is amazing, and I hope that comes back again someday soon in the future. So thank you guys for commenting on the question. But now we'll head into the pin news. Alright guys, first let's talk about the crazy Pin Trader Delight flips that happened out at Disney Studio Store Hollywood this past week. On December 15th, I think this is the record, there was 3 flips in one day. That's how popular these pins were. It all started with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and Carl and Ellie pins. They were a limited edition of 400 each. Those were released and then flipped super fast. Next was the Ariel and Nick Wilde pins. Those ones went crazy. Little Mermaid Ariel was LE 400, Nick Wilde is LE 300. The retail prices, or the secondary market on these pins, is extremely high right now. And then there was the Abu as Elephant pin from Aladdin, and then Fear from Inside Out. Those were both LE 300. So there are 3 flips in that one day on the 15th. And then there was another flip on the 16th. These ones are a little less popular, but the Muses from Hercules and then Chien Po from Mulan. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but Hercules was LE 400 and then Mulan was LE 300. And as I'm recording this, those are still available at Disney Studio Store Hollywood. So yeah, crazy week for those guys out there in California. Next, let's head over to Disney Store UK. They had the Rogue One pin release on Friday the 16th. And then they have a new Mary Poppins pin coming out. This one will be released on December 28th. So this is exclusive to Europe. It is limited edition of 800 and kind of features a silhouette of Mary Poppins holding the umbrella and her big bag. So that is £9. And it can only be purchased at Disney Store UK. Super cool pin there. Next, let's head over to Shanghai Disney Resort. They have some new pins over there. These are the Lunar New Year pins for 2017. There's an open edition pin featuring Mickey and Minnie Mouse. It has Chinese writing in the background. And then there's a box pin. It's kind of like a jumbo pin, and it has Disney characters on it that include Donald Duck, Duffy Bear, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and Goofy. and they are wrapped by a Chinese dragon. It's a very unique pin, and this is exclusive to Shanghai Disney Resort, and that pin is a limited edition of 1,000. Next, let's head over to Disney Cruise Line. They have a new pin release for 2017. This is a hinge pin. On the front, it has an anchor and says Disney Cruise Line 2017. And then when you open the pin up, on the inside, it has Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse with a nautical attire with a blue background. So pretty nice looking pin there. If you guys are going to be taking a Disney cruise anytime soon, be sure to keep an eye out for that one. And then next, here's a cool release from Walt Disney World. This is a cast member exclusive pin. A friend of ours sent us the picture. This is a candlelight cast pin for 2016, and it's, like I said, exclusive to Walt Disney World. And it's not a limited edition, but I would assume it's just a limited release because it's only for the cast at that show, at the candlelight show at Walt Disney World. So a very cool pin, has a little bit of glitter embellishments on it. There's 3 candles, and it looks like an ornament. And then last week, also at Disney Parks, there was 2 surprise pin releases that they were not on Disney's calendar. One was it was an Animal Kingdom holiday pin that was exclusive to Walt Disney World, and then another one was the Pirates of the Caribbean piece of Disney history pin at Disneyland. So both of those pins were surprises. They're really nice pins, so we posted those on the website, and yeah, very cool to see a surprise release. And then there was also another one. It was the Star Wars helmet pin set. This is a box pin set featuring 4 different pins. The top of the box says the First Order, and then the bottom says Rule the Galaxy. It's limited edition of 1,000, and that was released on December 15th, last Thursday as well. So these were all surprise releases, and we have blog posts up of those at DisneyPinsBlog.com. And then also spotted at Disney Parks is a new pin set. This is the Disney Princesses pin set. It features 6 different pins. We have Cinderella, Ariel, Mulan, Jasmine, Merida, and then Tiana. And these are kind of like the cuties or the baby style pins. They're just a unique style of artwork. They don't look like the normal characters. So we have a picture up on YouTube, and if you guys are listening to this, make sure to check it out on the website because they are some pretty unique pins. Also last week for Rogue One, there was a new release at DisneyStore.com. This is the commemorative pin. It features the Death Star, and it says Star Wars Rogue One. Like I said earlier, this one was released at Disney Store UK, but it was also available in America at the US Disney Store online store. Retail price was $14.95. It's not limited edition or anything, so I think it's just a limited release while supplies last type of thing. So that's a very cool pin. It's got the Death Star sketched in the background, and then Star Wars Rogue One is in like a bronze color at the bottom. Speaking of Disney Store, we actually were able to hit up the Disney Store in New York City this past weekend, and they had new pins there. So we did a blog post on it. We have the pictures up. They have 3 new open edition pins. One says I Love New York and has Mickey Mouse on it. The other one is a apple, and it has Mickey and Minnie. Looks like walking through Central Park with a New York sketched on it. And then there's a Minnie Mouse pin as the Statue of Liberty with glitter embellishments on it. Very cool pin. And then there is a New York pin set featuring 5 different pins. You have Mickey Mouse as a firefighter. It looks like Goofy as like a traffic cop. You have Donald Duck as a police officer. Pluto is just holding a New York flag in his mouth. And then you have Minnie as the Statue of Liberty again. So those are all exclusive to the Disney Store in New York City. Alright guys, now let's talk about the new pin releases this week at Disney Parks. This is the release for December 22nd. Starting off with Disneyland, there is a exclusive piece of history pin coming out. This one features the Disneyland Resort French Market, and it has Marie on the pin, and it is limited edition of 2,000. And then at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, we have the next Love Letters Pin of the Month pin. This is the final pin. It features Beauty and the Beast Very cool pin. It's got a nice glitter, and then you have Beast and Belle on the front of that pin, and that's a limited edition of 3,000. And then I might as well mention it, since we are this is going to be the last podcast for this year. There's going to be a Christmas Day pin release at Disney Parks. It's limited edition of 5,000, features Mickey and Minnie on it, and it says Merry Christmas 2016. And then the final Disney Duets Pin of the Month pin is going to be released, featuring Cruella and Pongo. That is limited edition of 3,000, and that one is going to be released on the next Thursday, which is December 29th. Also on December 29th, over at Disneyland, is the Sleeping Beauty Castle pin. It has Aurora on the front of it, and then the piece of history inside, and that's limited edition of 2,000. But yeah, we'll of course still be doing the weekly blog posts with the new pin releases, so be sure to check that out. And then also, if you guys haven't seen it already, I just did a really long video of my entire Disney pin collection. That's up on YouTube. It's 43 minutes. I did that last year in April, I think it was, of my entire Disney pin collection. So this is just kind of like an update from that video. So be sure to check it out if you haven't already. Alright guys, so that'll do it for the pin news this week. Thank you for listening and watching to the DPB podcast. I really do appreciate it. I know 2016 was a pretty crazy year for the podcast, lots of changes, and I just appreciate all of you guys following along. We will be back again for 2017. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. Enjoy the time with your friends and family. See you guys.